Tonight on Missing Persons Unit...
Are you able to tell me the last time you may have seen her?
Oh, about 3 or 4 days ago.
Single mum Caroline Coates vanishes without a word.
And the phone is still sitting at the table, so we're really concerned that there's no form of contact.
And she's left her young daughter behind.
If you are out there somewhere, Caroline, come back or contact the police.
Nicole is only 13, but she's already listed as a missing person.
She said, "I love you, Mum," and hung up.
But police hit the jackpot.
There they are.
Stop there, stop! Guys, stop!
And where is refugee Peter Buckich?
He was such a nice, fun-loving guy.
He moved to Australia, then his life fell apart.
Please come and let us help you.
Also, the disappearance of lecturer Elaine Morgan.
A lot of these people, we got to understand that, you know, maybe not in the normal frame of mind when they go missing.
Her abandoned car is found at this remote cliff face.
We're all praying that she is safe.
There are thousands of people around Australia right at this moment who are missing. And while some may never be found, state and federal police do find over 95% of them. That's an incredible 27,500 people found every year. In this television series, police have already solved 49 different cases. That's 49 separate families who've been given either closure or who have been reunited with their loved ones. In this next episode, you're going to see just how successful missing persons units are in bringing families back together. In New South Wales...
Dylan, it's Mandy from the Missing Persons Unit. How you going?
All right.
Senior Constable Mandy Gale is talking to Dylan Morgan, who reported his wife Elaine missing.
I'll sit down with you this morning and just go over what we've done.
That'd be good.
Yeah, just so you have an idea sort of what we're doing from our end, and if there's anything else you can think of, anything else we can check.
Okay.
The last time Elaine was seen was 4 weeks ago when she dropped her daughter at her dance class.
And the girls are at school? Your daughter's at school?
Daughter's at school now, yes, that's right.
That night, Elaine's car was found abandoned at a cliff-top car park on Sydney's northern beaches. And since then, Dylan has spent every waking moment looking for her.
You've done a wonderful job. You put your posters out and everything like that.
So now it's up to Mandy to try and find the missing lecturer.
Come round when you're ready.
See you then.
Excellent.
OK then, Dylan. Bye. A fairly extensive search was done on the 21st of last month, just a matter of days after she went missing, and we didn't get anything from that. Made inquiry, she hasn't left the country, and the detectives are looking at a computer she was using at home. It's just really distressing that nothing's coming back, and we're really worried at this point.
In Newcastle, on the trail of missing 30-year-old mum Caroline Coates, Kelly and Steve are about to search her flat with her ex-boyfriend, Joseph. Last week, Joseph reported the young mum missing.
So when exactly was the last time you saw Caroline?
About lunchtime on Friday.
But what's frightening is that Caroline is a schizophrenic and disappeared without taking her tablets.
How long can she go without her medication before she starts having effects?
A couple of days.
When Caroline hadn't contacted her 4-year-old daughter, Arabella, Joseph feared the worst.
This woman means so much to me and my daughter, and if you are out there somewhere, Caroline, you know, please, you know, come back or contact the police because we're so worried about you.
Today, just one step inside Caroline's flat, and it's obvious just how desperate she is.
Right, so this is typical. Medication, where's that?
She's supposed to take it every night.
And when they count up the tablets,
10, 20, 30,
they're even more concerned.
50, 60.
She's taken 7 in a month.
Caroline hasn't taken 23 tablets over the last month and could now be psychotic and in real trouble.
But she's barely taken any in the last month.
And because she's left her mobile behind, police can't contact her. But Steve has another idea.
I think the best thing for us to do is actually get onto the bank. If she has touched it, it might give us an area. She's used it and it might be down Campbelltown, who knows. Oh, yeah?
That done.
Mine's a bit heavy. I'll let you look it back
We're
up.
really concerned at the moment. There's no medication taken, the clothes aren't gone, and the phone is still sitting at the table. So we're really concerned that there's no form of contact.
Meanwhile, across town, Mandy's off to interview the husband of missing university lecturer Elaine Morgan.
I think being a mum myself, the hardest thing would be is to leave a child, but then a lot of these people, you've got to understand that, you know, maybe not in the normal frame of mind when they go missing. Then they just need a bit of time out, a bit of space, quite entitled to do that. But it's so important that they just contact the family and let them know they're okay. And often, a lot of the time, the family are happy with that.
Back in Newcastle, Kelly and Steve are door-knocking Caroline Coates' neighbours in the hope they may have seen her.
We're just looking for one of your neighbours. She's been reported missing.
I haven't seen her a week, maybe a little bit more now, so I don't know where they are.
She got a young kid?
Yeah, a little daughter.
3 or 4 days ago.
3 or 4 days as well.
They seemed okay. They were sitting out there in the sun last week when it was warm.
We're just looking for one of your neighbours, Caroline. Are you able to tell me the last time you may have seen her, or...?
Oh, about 3 or 4 days ago.
3 or 4 days ago?
She often goes, you don't see her 3 or 4 days, she might lock herself in a world of her own, I think.
And that's the danger. Without her tablets, that world may be crumbling around her.
The neighbours haven't seen her for at least a few days since late last week. So we're going to go back to the office, make a few more inquiries and check with the bank and see how we go with that.
Meanwhile, in the case of missing lecturer Elaine Morgan, Mandy has arrived at her home to interview her husband, Dylan.
How's the girls?
They're yeah, okay, you know, sort of up and down. Sometimes they get a bit tearful and upset, but, you know.
But the truth is, after a month without word, Dylan and his 2 daughters are doing it hard without Elaine.
Elaine has been my wife for 29 years. We've got 2 children. 3 or 4 years ago, we bought this house and settled down here. We're very happy here.
Speak up, Mum.
What's confusing Dylan is that on this recent family holiday, Elaine seemed happy.
Cycled up here this morning.
It only took us an hour.
But she wasn't.
True to say, Elaine has not been, you know, totally happy. I mean, she came back and the next day, she disappeared.
And not before leaving a final chilling note to her family.
Yeah, she left a note which was on the kitchen table here. It was just a handwritten note. It was just a few lines. It said, Dylan, I'm sorry, I love you, and God bless you. And it was just signed Elaine. And that's all it said. So, I mean, I just don't know what that is supposed to mean, what she's saying sorry for, or what it means.
Back at the Missing Persons Unit, Kelly is checking Caroline Coates' bank records.
When was the account last accessed?
Our last access was on the 10th of August.
Yep.
The balances are down to virtually zero, so she wouldn't have been able to access any more funds.
Yep.
You probably would have to wait until the next Centrelink payment came in to see if she accesses that.
But the clock is ticking. Without her medication, Caroline could be on borrowed time.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
Not a worry.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So it's a bit of a concern now that she's been missing for several days. She has no more money available to her in her accounts that we're aware of. Her mother's recently passed away. Her father isn't really coping with it that well, and it is her birthday. So a combination of all of those events may have had her go to see her father at that time.
Where we up to?
Off to Campbelltown.
Meanwhile, in the case of missing mum, Elaine Morgan, Mandy is heading to isolated cliffs on Sydney's coastline.
We're going to head out to Manly now and meet up with Dave out there, and he's going to show us where Elaine's vehicle was found the night she went missing, just so I can get an idea of the area. I've never been out there myself, so it'd be good to have a look around.
Hi.
This is the spot?
Yeah, this is it.
Elaine's car was found abandoned here 9 hours after she vanished.
The local police came up here doing a patrol, and there it was. The Subaru found a note about the ticket machine, which said she had tried to use it at 10:25 a.m. that morning, but it wasn't working. So it's a bit remote.
It's really out of the way.
And well known for its danger. The car park is only metres from these cliffs.
You'll see when you come around the corner here just how high these cliffs are.
Oh, my God.
It's hard to imagine if you haven't seen them before.
One of the real fears is that Elaine may have taken her own life.
Well, that's the one alternative, and the other one, I suppose, is that somehow, for some reason, she doesn't want us to know where she is and has left the car and the notes and all that sort of thing, pointing us in one direction, and she's disappeared.
And that's what police are hoping for. But if Elaine did set this whole thing up, where is she? Back in Newcastle, police have moved their search for Caroline Coates to her dad's home.
Looks like it might be locked up.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
They're hoping Caroline may have come here looking for help.
Doesn't sound like there's anyone home.
All looks locked up.
No one's home, but maybe the neighbours know something.
Can we just ask a few questions just in regards to one of your neighbours up the street, Mr. Coates? Yeah. Just wondering if you'd seen him recently.
No, the last I saw him, the ambulance pulled up and they took him because he was pretty sick. And one of the neighbours informed me that he was admitted in a hospital.
Do you know about how long ago he was, the ambulance came? Oh, a couple of weeks ago.
No, it's been months. Maybe, yeah, 5 or 6 months.
OK, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
It's not a bad lead. If Caroline has gone to the hospital to see her dad, he may know where she is.
It does appear that the father is in hospital, so we're going to go check the hospital and see if he's had any visitors lately.
Meanwhile, in the case of missing lecturer Elaine Morgan,
so you want to come through?
Detective Sergeant David Fairclough has been checking Elaine's computer for clues.
It appears that Elaine has accessed sites in relation to health issues mainly, but apart from that, there's nothing to indicate where she might be at this time.
Nothing, except the health sites and Elaine's final note that has everyone frantic.
That's the note that I found when I got home that evening on the 17th, so that, you know, when I picked up Sophie from ballet, that was sitting on the kitchen worktop.
Yeah.
And those are her lipsticks from her handbag, and combs from her handbag as well.
Yeah, the reason I want those is because we can possibly get DNA from them.
Okay.
We might need to get some DNA from your daughter. Yep. I know that often can be quite traumatic, and if that's the case, we can arrange for a counsellor to be there if you think that would help.
Okay. Thanks for the computers.
With so little to go on, the case is far from over. And Mandy's major concern now is the welfare of Dylan and the 2 girls Elaine left behind.
The mums from the school are sort of helping the family, and they've got a lot of support that way, which is really important. I just sort of worry for him, like seeing how he is. He seems to be trying to be really strong and all that, and I just wonder and worry at what point he's going to need someone to talk to himself.
Well, where are we?
Kelly and Steve have arrived at Camden Hospital to find out if schizophrenic mum, Caroline, has been here to visit her dad.
Have you got any next of kin that might be able to grab details for, just to make sure that we can make any contact in Sydney with anyone?
Yeah, no, we have a next of kin.
Oh, great. Can I just grab those details if that's okay?
Caroline is not here, but Kelly now has the phone number for her uncle.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. I was after Brian, please.
Yes, speaking.
Hi, Brian. It's Senior Constable Schofield here from the Missing Persons Unit. How are you? We're just making some inquiries in regards to Caroline. Is there any chance that she's been in touch with you in the last couple of days?
No, that'd be most unlikely. She's quite estranged from the rest of the family, but since John's been in hospital, she's broken into the house twice.
Now, how long ago was it the last time she broke into the house?
Probably about 4 to 5 weeks. In my opinion, she's really just after money.
Appreciate your time.
No trouble.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks
very
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
He has been able to provide us with some details for her brother. Although we're not holding much hope that she has contacted him, we'll get in contact with him and see if he's got any further details to add.
At the Missing Persons Unit, Constable Adam Marsh has just received the breaking case of 2 runaway schoolgirls.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Travers.
Yes.
He's speaking with Tracy, the mum of one of the girls, 13-year-old Nicole.
I was just wondering if you could tell me briefly what's happened.
Well, we don't know. She went to school yesterday morning
Okay.
and everything was fine and didn't arrive home yesterday afternoon.
But this case is double trouble. Nicole's run off with her best mate.
I just rang the school and they didn't go to roll call.
Okay.
So she caught the bus to school and they've gone.
Okay, they've gone together.
Yep.
I can see here in the report that she had no money with her.
And as far as I know, I don't think she took any clothes either.
You said she took a different bag to school?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you be home most of the day, or...?
Yeah, I'll be home all day.
Adam is no stranger to runaways
Thank you.
and knows all too well just how dangerous the situation can get.
2 13-year-old girls with not much street-wise experience could be exposed to people who are streetwise.
While Adam and Doug take off to find the 2 13-year-olds, new information is just in on missing lecturer Elaine Morgan.
Just received a phone call from a lady at Newcastle.
It looks like Elaine's husband's poster drop is finally paying off.
He's put the poster in the right shop and people have come in and seen her.
And she was certain it was this lady.
Wow. She didn't notice anything different about her?
She spoke with an accent.
And Elaine has an English accent.
Thanks, Mark. It makes sense because she was in Newcastle the day before she went missing. So, yeah, it's promising, but it's still a mystery.
Elaine, we're missing you dreadfully. We love you to bits, and I don't know how we can go on without you. We really need you to make contact, Elaine, and your mother needs you to know that you're safe also. So please, if you're listening or if anybody recognises you, just please let somebody know. Contact the Missing Persons Unit or anybody in authority, and just pass on that message, please.
Meanwhile, across town, in the search for the 2 missing schoolgirls...
Maybe it's just an adventure.
Adam's heading to Picton, south of Sydney, to interview Nicole's mum.
Kids can be resourceful, and sometimes they have a lot of friends that their parents don't know about. There's quite possibly a few places they might have gone to.
And when they arrive at Nicole's home...
Mrs. Travers? Yes. Hi,
her devastated mum has just spoken with her on the phone.
I just asked her why'd she go and she said, I don't know. And I said to her, did you take clothes? And she said no, because I wasn't expecting it.
Nicole has taken nothing except a small pink shopping bag.
And I asked her, was she safe? And she said yes. And she said, I love you, Mum, and hung up. Sorry.
And Tracy has also received news from Nicole's school principal.
She thinks that they're going to Bowral railway station.
You caught the train from Picton to Bowral?
I'd say so. I think she just wants to be allowed to do what she wants, when she wants, and she can't.
It's an all too familiar tale. Teenagers rebelling, but these 2 are only 13.
Try not to worry too much. We'll do our best, and we'll try and find her today.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Nicole, I love you, and I want you to come home.
In With the disappearance of Elaine Morgan, Mandy's driving 2 hours to investigate a possible sighting.
The lady in the shop recognised a poster that Dylan, Elaine's husband, had taken up, and that had actually 4 people come into the shop and recognise that picture. They were in there for quite a while, and they did pick up that this lady had an English accent.
It's a strong new lead. Elaine is spotted here weeks after she dumped her car. This shop is in Newcastle, and that's also where Elaine went the day before she vanished.
One of our staff members observed Elaine coming into the store with a friend. They were just doing a bit of shopping, looking around, and that was on Friday the 18th, I believe.
Oh, right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. What time of day was that?
I believe it was about 12:30, I think, and she was with a friend.
But who is Elaine's mystery friend?
They were having a conversation, the 2 ladies between themselves, seemed very happy.
Maybe happy enough to close the book on her old life and start a new one without her husband and 2 daughters. Back at the Missing Persons Unit, the breaking case of Bosnian refugee Peter Bukic has Senior Constable Gary Bailey worried.
Yes, Darko.
He's on the phone to Peter's brother-in-law, Darko, who reported the 30-year-old chef missing.
He went to the city and he didn't come back to home. I'm scared now that he didn't get into that very dangerous ice. I'm just very, very scared of that.
Darko tells Gary Peter's problems are the result of living through the war in Bosnia.
He never had a real home.
So now, Gary needs to act quickly.
We'll see you, Darko, around about 1 o'clock, all right?
Thanks, Gary.
OK, mate. Good on you. Bye. Peter survived the war over in Bosnia and came over here and left his family behind, and all his friends. And on top of this now, he's just had a big break-up with his girlfriend. Putting all these things together, he could be in real trouble. So we're going to slip out to see Darko and see if we can get to the bottom of it and find him as quick as possible.
Meanwhile, on the trail of the 2 missing schoolgirls, Adam is hoping railway surveillance footage may reveal where the girls have gone.
Possibly got on at Picton Station yesterday and travelled to Bowral. They haven't gone to school, so we were wondering if we could have a look from 9 o'clock onwards.
If the girls did catch a train, one of these cameras could have recorded their journey.
This is Picton, is it?
Yeah, that's Picton.
OK, there's 2 young girls. Yep. It's quite possibly them.
And it doesn't take long. There's the 2 13-year-old mates, both carrying those pink shopping bags.
They're getting on the train.
Yeah, 10:20 at Picton, onto the last carriage.
The footage shows the girls hopping on the 10:20. And here they are getting off at Bowral Railway Station 45 minutes later.
They are. That's right.
Yep, they can.
And there's Nicole on the phone talking to her mum.
So they've gone out the exit. Yep.
The police net is now closing in.
We're going to head straight down there now because hopefully they're still there.
Meanwhile, in the search for Peter Bukic, it's now 8 days since anyone has heard from the Bosnian refugee. And Gary is hoping his distraught brother-in-law, Darko, will provide a new lead.
He still looks pretty similar to this, does he?
He put on some weight and he lost some hair on the top.
This is home video of Peter in Bosnia before the war.
He was such a nice, fun-loving guy, very much fond of his sister, my wife. But obviously, family interruption changed his life, probably forever.
That interruption was the Bosnian War. And starting a new life, Peter came to Australia. But the horrors of the war led to problems at work.
He wanted a beer. Yeah. You can't get a beer when you work, you know that, Peter. He just walked out, sit on the street and start crying, shaking and crying.
After breaking down at the restaurant where he worked as a chef, Peter vanished.
All his stuff was there, so he didn't have anything. So I went back and left my business card, my mobile number and key of the unit. And I just wrote on the back of the card, Peter, come home, everything is okay. Let me help you, Robert.
Oh, dear.
But then, just as it's all becoming too much for Darko, the phone rings.
Hello?
The search for the two 13-year-old runaways has now moved to Bowral Railway Station. And Adam's hoping these teenagers have seen the missing schoolgirls.
Her name's Nicole White. She's missing at the moment, and she was seen around here a little while ago.
Heard the name, but I don't know.
If they do know anything, they're not saying. But these workers weren't so tight-lipped.
We're looking for a missing 13-year-old girl. Her name's Nicole. OK, we know that she's been here in the last 2 days. Yeah, just have a look at that.
Pass around, boys, if you like.
Pass around.
That's it.
Yeah, this morning, eh?
Gone down there a minute ago. There you go.
Two Supre bags, big, like Supre bags.
That's the girls.
And where were they going?
In that direction.
It sounds very much like Nicole and her mate.
Guys, if you do see them again, call the local police, and we'll go take a look down there. We're going to do a canvass around Bowral because we know they're around here.
Meanwhile, in the case of missing mum, Caroline Coates, after 10 long days, she's been found by local police.
We're just going to have a chat to Caroline, just see how she's going now that she's been returned, and just see where she's been and if she needs any help and any counselling. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Just wanted to come and make sure that everything was okay and, yeah, everything's okay?
Yeah.
Just visiting friends and...
Nah, just crashing at motels.
Okay.
Any reason?
Nah, just fed up, I think.
Just fed up?
Yeah, with my flat and everything. Yeah. Tired.
It's not a crime to take off without telling anyone, but the effect on family and friends is heartbreaking.
If you're going to do it, let Joseph know maybe. Got a little Bella there, and you put Joseph through a lot of stress.
So I was thinking, you know, maybe you lying in intensive care somewhere, dying in a gutter somewhere. I always think the worst things possible, so...
Alrighty then.
Okay, see you later.
Soon. Bye.
Thanks,
Joseph knows they've been lucky this time. And from here, it'll be one step at a time. South of Sydney, the hunt for the missing schoolgirls is really hotting up. Police are searching the area around Bowral Railway Station, where the girls were seen less than an hour ago.
Bushland, he might have had it sat down here for a feed out by the creek or something, but...
Adam has a hunch and heads into scrub behind the station.
We're looking for two missing 13-year-old girls.
School uniform?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been 3 or 4 of them down here today.
Oh, do you know which way they went?
I just saw them go there and back and forth.
With only hours before nightfall, Doug knows they have to act fast.
Would they turn right to this path down here?
I just saw them walk down here, but there's only one way to go. There's only bushland there. Right. There's a little creek here, and that takes you to the road. There they are.
Go, Eddie, go.
Nicole!
Stop there, stop!
Nicole,
Just
stop!
guys, stop! Guys, stop!
The race is literally on to catch two runaway 13-year-olds.
It's all right, you're not in trouble, all right? You all right? We've been looking for you all morning.
Sit down. It's okay, mate. You're not in any trouble, okay?
The girls haven't committed any crime.
What's your name, mate?
So Doug does his best to reassure them.
You're not in any trouble, okay? We're here to look after you, here for your welfare. So take it easy.
But by not telling anyone their plans, the girls have had so many people worried sick.
Don't run off again, all right? She's all right. You got each other, come on.
Yes, Radio, we've located these 2 missing persons in bushland. They're safe and well.
Who have you been with? No one. So where did you stay?
Park?
At the park. You stayed at the park.
At 13, they think they can take on the world, but their night on the streets could have ended in tragedy. And it's an attitude police see all too often.
Everybody needs space. I understand that, but you can't go and do this, all right? There are other options, okay? You can discuss that with your mother, okay? She'll sort out something for you, I'm sure, okay?
Okay, we'll take you back to your parents now, okay?
Meanwhile, in the case of missing refugee Peter Bukic, a call comes through on the mobile phone Peter left behind.
Who is that? How can I help you? I'm Peter's brother-in-law. Can I help you somehow?
Gary wants to question the caller urgently.
When was the last time that you spoke to him? 15th of March, was it? He's been missing since the 19th, I think. All right. OK, then. Bye.
By now, it's all become too much for Darko, who also has the worry of looking after his sick wife, Peter's sister.
Sometimes, you know, that's for the first time I'm crying, you know, for 3 months, and I'm always so close to cry. It's so tough. You can't imagine. I had my family, all of a sudden, they all start to crumble down, you know. That's a terrible thing.
Due to her state, don't say anything about Peter and that, you know.
No, I don't know. I can't. That would just worsen the whole thing.
All right, then, you poor bugger, you've got a lot on your plate. Hopefully we can find Peter for you, all right?
Thanks, Gary.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Feeling so much pain, Darko makes this heartfelt plea to his brother-in-law.
Peter, that's your home. Please, let us help you, and we will sort it out. We'll put your life back into track, and that's beautiful country. Give us second chance in our life, second fair go, you know, and why to just misuse it, you know? Enjoy the life. Peter, please come home.
Back at the Missing Persons Unit, in the search for Elaine Morgan, Mandy is interviewing Elaine's husband Dylan about her mystery friend in Newcastle.
Well, no friends or relatives or relations with anybody in Newcastle that we can think of. I mean, she's got colleagues who live on the Central Coast, but I've spoken with them and they, you know, they've not seen her, so I can't think who it might be at all.
So, with no new leads, Dylan now has to make the difficult call to loved ones in England.
It's going to be too much of a shock for them because they don't know at the moment, do they?
I haven't told friends.
You might have some information we don't know.
Yeah.
They're not telling you that they might be willing to tell us.
Yep, no, you're right.
While Dylan prepares to tell family, Mandy is getting ready for the next step in the investigation. And that's why she's waiting for Elaine's older daughter, Lois, to arrive at the Missing Persons Unit. Back in the hunt for missing refugee Peter Bukic, Gary is onto his strongest lead yet.
We're now heading over to the old address of Peter's. That's where his ex-girlfriend used to live. They lived there together until about a week ago and they broke up, so hopefully she can help us. And I think that we might be on the right track by going over there. She might know something about this matter.
If Peter has hit rock bottom, Gary reckons there's a good chance he'll have come here looking for help. Back at the Missing Persons Unit, Kelly is already hard at work on an urgent new case.
Your wife is Nancy?
Yes.
Yeah?
She's on the phone to the husband of missing 66-year-old Nancy Teo.
Sure, so she was just wearing a jumper?
Nancy, who suffers from dementia, went to a shopping centre toilet and then vanished.
What we'd like to do is come out and probably get some more details on where she's likely to hang out and just get some, maybe a current photo of her so that we can show it around the shops when we do a canvass of the area.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Okay, come up.
Okay. No worries, I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
She's been missing overnight in just the clothes that she was out shopping in. She's got no money, she's got no identification, and her English is fairly limited. So, yeah, we've got a bit of a concern for her safety. It was very cold last night.
Meanwhile, in the search for missing refugee Peter Bukic, Gary's hunch that he may be with his ex-girlfriend is spot on.
Well, we've got some good news. We've gone in and seen Joyce. And lo and behold, she should be in there with her, is Peter. Apparently he's been there since last Tuesday. He seems all right, actually, but he's admitted that he's got a problem. and he's going up to St George Hospital to see if he can get some, put him in there and get some treatment, get him back on the rails.
Gary has sighted Peter, and all that remains now is to ring the family with the good news.
We've found Peter. He was actually over at his old girlfriend's over at Joyce's. He's going to go up to St George Hospital. We're going to head up that way in the moment. They've already gone up there. Yep, you can sort of relax a little bit now and just worry about your wife, you know. Oh, OK, good on you, Darker. Bye.
For a while, it'll be tough going for Peter, but with his family behind him, there is still a lot of hope for a happy future. Back at the Missing Persons Unit, Elaine Morgan's daughter, Lois, has arrived to give her DNA.
Andy, and this is Jane.
She's taking the DNA swab because if police ever find her mum's body, DNA may be the only way to identify her.
Okay. This probably feels really, very daunting sort of thing, but we'll make it as easy as we can.
Even though Elaine could still be alive, when DNA is requested, it is usually because police fear the worst.
So just give it a good wipe, as if it's like a lollipop, I guess. Just keep, just both sides of the foam.
Everyone in the room knows the gravity of this moment. A daughter providing a simple mouth swab which could one day identify the remains of her mother.
That's it.
But Lois certainly hasn't given up hope of finding her mum alive and makes this plea for her safe return.
Mum, if you're out there and you're watching this, I hope you feel that you can come home whenever you like. You know, there won't be any hard feelings or anything. So if there's anyone that knows anything or is looking after Elaine or has seen her, just please tell the police and do the right thing. Okay.
Meanwhile, across town, Kelly has arrived at the home of missing dementia sufferer Nancy Teo to speak with her worried husband, T.
Oh, great, you've got a photo?
Like that?
And how old
Since
is this
becoming
photo?
sick, T hasn't been able to let his wife out of his sight, except to go to the bathroom. And yesterday at the shops, he did just that.
I took her to the back, thinking that there's no other way out, right?
Okay,
I
yeah.
come out and wait for her. I'm just behind the door.
So
5
this is-
minutes later,
not
still, no, she didn't come out.
Mhm.
So I got, can't be that long. So I started checking, I couldn't find her.
But T did not know there was a second exit, and now blames himself.
Didn't give her any money, no key, no thinking that
okay,
she
we'll-
won't get lost. You know, she'd be with me all the time. So
That's all right.
I feel very sorry. I should have given
no,
something.
Don't blame yourself.
We'll go back to the area, put some posters up, we'll get some good photos, but let the shop assistants know that we're looking for her and that they can contact us.
While Kelly begins her search,
Well, thank you very much, and we'll speak to you later today. We'll keep you in
T
touch.
does his bit and makes a plea for help.
If anybody find my wife, please contact the Chatswood Police Station. Thank you.
Back in Bowral, south of Sydney, Adam has found his 13-year-old runaways, who've just spent a night on the loose, and now he's taking them home.
Be nice to your mum, all right? She's been really worried about you.
First drop-off is Nicole.
Hello.
And when they arrive, her mum is overcome with relief. But Nicole has no idea how much heartache she's caused.
And I had Mum and Dad worrying all night. They're all night looking for you.
I know, you drove past us.
Where at?
Near the across from the train station.
At
We
Bowral?
were laying down and then you just drove past and then
It's
you
not-
did a U-turn.
It's not funny.
It's funny.
13 years old, Nicole, walking the streets.
I'm walking
You
the
watch
street.
these shows where bloody kids get abducted all the time.
Didn't get abducted.
It doesn't matter, you could have. And then what were you going to do?
Mm.
And where does your
That's
mum
it.
start to look for you? If you don't tell her where you're going, where does she start to look for you? If you're in real trouble and you need help, nobody's going to know, are they? You just take off and don't tell anyone where you're going. That's something to think about.
Adam's a dad with a teenage daughter just like Nicole, so he knows what Tracy's going through.
You need to show a bit of respect for your mum and dad. They do a lot
When
for
they
you.
show me respect, I will.
You got to earn respect. You don't just get it. Okay?
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. All right. See you later, Nicole.
Thank you again.
No worries. Bye-bye.
Adam now has one more job, to reunite Nicole's mate with her anxious mum. But when they get there, it's not good.
Come back and talk to your mum.
And as Adam and Doug go inside to broker a peace, over at Nicole's house, she finally realises how lucky she is to have a mum like Tracy.
I love you. Don't do it again.
Every year, over 30,000 people go missing. Have you seen 45-year-old Lubos Jenker missing from Curtin Springs in the Northern Territory in 2004? Or 34-year-old Ariel Livesey, last seen in New South Wales in 2003? And Paul J, who disappeared from Hobart in 2004. If you have any information, please call 1-800 333 000.